Oh my God. Guys, where do you guys come up with these stories? Why do you just give them to me and you're like, oh my God, AV, we have to talk about this one. The spring is springing, and we're bringing up Diddy again. I thought this was done in November. We just put him in the dirt. And now we have to talk about Diddy again. How are y'all doing? Listen, it's Thursday. I'm back for a regularly scheduled program. Yes, your girl is late to the seventh power, but it's going to be a good one. I want to talk a little bit about Jonathan Oddi tonight, and I will brief you guys on who Jonathan Oddi is and why, as a collective, we should care. How is it involved with Diddy and Cassie? And I don't, for the love of God, want to bring up this complaint again, but we might have to look at it. All right. One of my best friends, put this on my radar around the time that Lead and I did the Cassie complaint. And we looked at it together. I even did the Cassie and Diddy complaint on Nick Rekieta's side. We did it together and we looked at it and is interesting. And not a lot of people are talking about it. But Jonathan Oddi is like disappeared right now. We don't know where he's at. He's gone. No one knows where he is. And this just adds to the pile of bodies around Sean P. Diddy Combs. The plot thickens. Who is Jonathan Oddi? What does he have to do with the Trump organization? What does he have to do with talking about freak-offs? What does he have to do with all of this? That's what we're going to figure out tonight. And yes, shout out to Margot. I love Rekieta too. He is amazing. The plot thickens. Love Rekieta too. Okay. That's a little loud tonight. Let me bring the volume down. Anyway, there's 22 of you guys here. Let me go ahead and see who we have in the building, and then we will dive into this because I have a few things for you guys. Number one, as always, I will start you off with the briefing on who this man is and why we should care. Why does he matter, right? Number two, we're going to talk about the allegations against Diddy, and not going to bring up the Cassie complaint again, but I will point you in the direction on where you can find that. We'll talk a little bit about the art of dialogue, things like that. But importantly, we will talk about the allegations against P. Diddy himself. We will show you the bizarre videos of Jonathan Oddi in a Trump Tower shooting it up for some strange reason. And then months later, I wish I had a remote to zoom y'all in. Months later, is also found giving a full confession about freak-offs with Diddy and Cassie before Cassie's complaint came out. Hello. The bizarre videos, the deranged confessions, and then we'll end off with a few channel announcements. And before we get started, guys, I do want to say this. This is not to shade this guy or, to go in too hard. I will say it does appear that he has some mental issues. So I'm not here trying to make fun of that. Mental health is very important. For myself, I've taken a few days off to get my YouTube mental health in check. It's a very important thing that we don't talk about enough. But I think importantly, we don't talk about it enough when it comes to men and what they go through, right? I can't tell you why this guy made the decisions that he chose in his life. But we'll look at it because he's allegedly missing right now. I don't know why he's missing. Okay. Let's see who we have in the building, and then we will get started into all of this. I will tell you a little bit about Jonathan Oddi, why he matters, and we'll go from there. So shout out to Trad Guy Travels, who is in the building. He has entered the chat. He says, I know this live is scheduled for the same time as the Putin interview. Damn it, is it? That's why nobody's in here. They will release today, but this is going to be a good turnout. Damn, Tucker and Putin. Is it happening right now? Of course I picked this time. Let's get some likes for AV, please. Thank you. If you guys are here while the Tucker and Putin interview is happening, give me a like. If you're watching this on replay, give me a like. I did not plan on competing with them at this time. Thank you, Trad. This explains a lot. Rebirth of Tragedy says, I love your channel. I love your videos. I love what you're doing. Rebirth of Tragedy. I love you. Thank you for being here while you could be watching the Putin interview. So I appreciate you so much. McKinley's in here. She says, hey, lady. Can't wait for the tea. Yeah, it's good tea. You'll love this, McKinley. And guys, if any of my mods are hanging around, I mean, everybody's watching the Tucker interview right now. But if you are here, please drop McKinley's channel. She does a really good job on her channel talking about different legal topics. I tune in when I can. I know she goes live from different hours of the day, so I love supporting the other female girls that are, the other girls that are in the LawTube space doing their thing. McKinley is one of them. Shout out to RTPFTW. You're a tongue twister, you know that? You've entered the chat. You're a tongue twister. You always get me. But peace to you too, brother. Hope you are doing well. Legally Live. Thank you, McKinley. Yes, follow Legally Live. She does lots of deep dives on her side. I believe she's in the Texas area, so it's always good to have her over here on this side. Trad says, we recently got a schedule, so no more being late. Hey. Be careful, Trad. I'm here tonight. Yeah, we are late to the 7th power. We are late. Okay, well, I got other stuff this afternoon, so you'll watch it later. All right, Rebirth, come back later. Sean says, I bet she had a wardrobe malfunction. Now, we are very forgiving people. The show must go on. Hold on, Sean. I don't think it was a wardrobe malfunction. Like, I got my hair done for y'all today. Like, the show's going to go on. Thank you for acknowledging the hair. TDW says, I just came to say AV looks good. Thank you for your brief moment of popping in and saying that. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I see who's in here. Rather watch this. Thank you, Terrence. Terrence is a G who's like, I'm going to stay and watch this. Terrence has entered the chat. Okay, we got the real ones. More for me says, I can catch up with Putin. AV Live is different. Thank you, More for me. My real ones are showing up. Let's do this. Fahala's in the building. He's entered the chat. And he dropped Legally Live's channel. Check her out. All right, guys. And Jack says, this stream is about to make my last hour and half of work easier to get through. And thank you, Jax, for entering the chat. That's what this is about. Some of you guys watch us YouTubers while you're working and doing stuff, and you just don't have time to catch up on some of this stuff with mainstream media. So you'd rather listen to us give you a synopsis instead of you having to go to the news stories and figure it out. Putin and the other guys, a lot for me to compete with. But as a small YouTuber, I can give you this. Everyone wants to know, and let's start with the briefing now. Everyone wants to know who Jonathan Oddi is. So let me tell you. Jonathan Oddi is one of the male sex workers that Diddy and Cassie hired for one of their freak-offs. Now, Jonathan is on camera. We have a confession that I'm going to show you guys. We have a confession video where he talks about being one of the men that had relations with Cassie and Diddy around 13 times. Okay. We read the complaint. We know what all of that means. Jonathan Oddi is not only coming out here for clout, because, you know, we're listening to this story like, oh, is he just popping out or popping up right now because the Cassie and Diddy story is hot? You know, it came out in November. Here we are in February. It's still a little bit of a hot story. Did he come out with that story right now for a specific reason? Because he wanted clout or one of those things? What I can tell you guys based off of the research that I've done this week is that Jonathan Oddi is now missing. He's one of the many people that have either gone missing or had some substantial life event happen after they've dealt with Diddy. The plot thickens. And it's not because we think Jonathan has been hit by Diddy. I mean, Diddy blows up people's cars. I mean, Diddy's wild. He has tried to push a narrative of a sexuality, particular side of sexuality towards people that are not interested in that sexuality. It's like, you know, it's like if I meet a woman at a club, she's older than me, and she's just like, hey, do you want to meet other women? And I, you know, I'd be like, hey, of course, for networking and friendship purposes, I'd love to meet other women. But if she's just like, no, do you want to have freak offs with other women? I'd be like, what? What are you doing? What is that? That's not my thing. Why did I want to do that? So, you know, like, we also have that to think about. Oddi is very much involved with the Trump scandal. He went to a Trump hotel and shot it up. So that's why I do want to approach this with sensitivity, because this guy could very well, I'm 95% sure that he has some mental issues. Okay. For him to go into male sex work in the first place, you got to have some mental issues. What do you get with that? Do you get female clients? Do you get male clients? Woo! It gets greasier the more we go into it. But when a person chooses, you know, to be a sex worker, that there's obviously something happening there. So he's either missing or dead at this time. And you guys know, value prop on my channel is I pursue justice. I just want to be able to show you both sides of the coin. But before, as a viewer, you choose what you think. So let's talk a little bit about Jonathan Oddi, understand who he is, and go from there. If you haven't seen already, the lead attorney and I have gone through the Diddy and Cassie complaint in depth. We've read all 33 pages. He read it raw dog, meaning that he did not have a synopsis of the case before we went in. I, on the other hand, had read all 33 pages of the complaint before we went live. So I knew where the bodies were in that document, so to speak. We had a really good time reading it. Some of it was funny, some of it was not. The allegations against Cassie were crazy. I was super interested because it connected back to Suge Knight and to the Tupac case, which if you guys are day ones, you know that I'm covering the Tupac case here super hard because we're going to trial in July. So for me, it was super interesting because Suge Knight's name was mentioned. When I was with Nick, we also, figured out that Suge Knight had a podcast and was talking about how he's not going to be involved in the Keefe D Tupac case. It's almost a 30-year case, guys. To dig that up now is just a little strange. Keefe D also just self-snitching everywhere. Like, you're just telling everybody what you did on Vlad TV and on the Art of Dialogue. I've talked about that so much that I'm not going to go into detail here. Okay. But let's talk about the allegations against Diddy. And yes, the Tom Fords have come out. So I'm going to drop that link up here if you're watching this on replay so you can see the lead attorney and I cover the complaint there. One of the biggest things that we saw in the Cassie complaint was allegations against Diddy and mentioning that Cassie hired male sex workers for these freak-offs. And you're like, Avi, what the hell is a freak-off? A freak-off was an opportunity not for Sean Diddy Combs and for Cassie to come together solo, because he was with Kim Porter at the time. It's not for these two to come together and have an affair. What they would actually do is come together. Cassie, who was like 19, Diddy was in his 30s. A lot of people are talking about the age difference, whatever. They came together and would get together and do these freaky things. Now, the FOs, it sounds like UFO to me. FOs, aka freak-offs, were an opportunity for them to come together. But instead of Diddy doing his thing with Cassie one-on-one, what made the situation a little crazy is when Diddy started to get male sex workers involved to not be involved as like a threesome. He would do it for the males to do things to Cassie. She developed a drug problem, all sorts of things, because this is annoying. I mean, I don't know, you guys, I'm still a woman. I'm like, if it's me and you have a thing and you want me to do a thing with somebody else so you can watch, I mean, you might have a little bit of a problem there. If it's your birthday or something, even that is still like morally like, oh my God, because so many of us, we're not even so many, we're all human beings. We have a moral compass. And if somebody's telling you they love you, if you're with someone, you have a moral compass. If you want me to get it popping with somebody else in the corner and you're over here beating off, I don't know what to tell you. Why do you want to watch that? Is it a cuck thing? Why do you want to see that? And I'm sorry, Cassie was beautiful. I mean, she was a looker. She was a looker. So, going back to this, Cassie had to look for male sex workers. There was Astroglide involved, all types of shenanigans. And Diddy was in the corner doing his thing. From a legal perspective, the reason why that was a problem, and you guys know the legal play. You know the legal play. Back in November, we read the complaint. And in less than 24 hours, they reached a settlement agreement. Do y'all remember that? In that 30-page document, never once did Cassie's attorneys allege that Diddy was into men. We never talked about that in that complaint. That complaint was almost like a caught red-handed situation. You guys know. Hey, you. I know about you. I know about what you're into. But we're going to use these legal documents and insinuate. We're going to sprinkle it on there. Keita G knows. We're going to sprinkle on what you do. We're not going to expose it yet, Diddy. We've tried to negotiate with you. If you want to come back and talk to us, that's fine. But guess what? We're going to sprinkle it on there. We're not going to say it. We're going to leak it to the press. We're even going to put a nice, beautiful block on the top of the document that says, what you're about to read is disturbing. it contains insinuations of assault. We're going to say that to all these people. Leak it to every press outlet in the world. And then we're going to catch pictures of you crying at your villa or mansion or whatever over the weekend, Diddy. And you're going to fold. And you're going to settle. And if you see a picture of me and you, that means I'm going to need my money by tomorrow. And that's what happened. 24 hours. Right? Gene Dale was on The Art of Dialogue talking about how crazy Diddy is. We talked about Diddy smacking his mama. We talked about Diddy on Drink Champs. We talked about Diddy and TD Jakes. We talked about Diddy and everybody. And real quick, before I continue, because we are going to watch the actual video of Oddi and his mental health, Oddi at Trump Tower, and Oddi's confession, because I want to see y'all's reaction. The deranged confession. The bizarre videos. But real quick, I want to shout out Kita G. Thank you so much for the first super of the night. Kita says, hey, gorgeous AV, love your hair. By the way, some people's moral compass is broken. Girl, moral compasses these days, dating in 2020, is that what year we're in? 2024? It's so bad. It's so bad. Thank you for liking my hair. I went to Dry Bar a little bit ago and they're like, oh my God, you're late. I went to Dry Bar. They did my hair. They do a good job there. You really do. I mean, you see this joint right here. I don't even know what to call this, a wave. They do a really good job of that. They do a really good job at that. So thank you so much, Kita. I believe right now you are the stream sponsor. I cannot wait to watch this debauchery with you guys. Kita's in. And I haven't seen you for a while, Kita. I hope you're doing well. She's in for $20 right now. With that being said, I'm not even going to hold you guys too long. Let's watch the video because this came out in December and everybody's like, who is this guy? What is he doing? Why does it matter? Is he, to Margot's point, trapped in the closet? And we'll go from there. I want you guys to let me know what you think Diddy's doing, right? But for now, let's watch the deranged video starting with this guy at Trump Tower. I don't know what's going on with him, but in 2018, he had an issue with Trump and shout out to everybody that voted in the poll. I said, who is sus here? Is it Oddi or Diddy? 89% of you guys said Diddy. I'm going to end that poll. But let's go see this video. It is 35 minutes. I am going to talk you through it for a little while. Okay? Let's talk about Oddi because there are some shenanigans happening here. So, Jonathan Oddi. Here we are. We are at Trump Tower, right, in Florida. Okay. Here he is walking into Trump Tower, the Trump Hotel, the Trump vicinity. And he's clearly off his rocker. Right? All right. He's getting shot at. He's getting shot at. Bop, 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 bop. He's hiding. Why was he getting shot at? He was getting shot at because he entered Trump Tower with a gun and threatened people. And when you do that, law enforcement is going to respond. Okay, law enforcement, if you are at a current president's property, is going to respond to you. This happened in 2018. It's a look at the footage up top. Notice that it's called 26 Ivanka Ballroom. That's what we're looking at. Ivanka's ballroom. Let's continue. He was hiding the cops were actually opening fire on this guy. Here he goes. There he is. Putty. Look at that. They have him slipping and sliding everywhere. And he goes and he hides for cover. Okay. That is scene 1. How is it that Cassie's complaint comes out in November? All of a sudden, this footage is being leaked. The same guy that participated in a freak off. Wait till you guys see the interrogation footage. The same guy that participated in a freak off was the same dude that went over here to Trump Tower and shot it up. Legally Live, what the hell is correct? Keita G, what the hell is correct? And yes, that was absolutely a robber outfit. Let's go back and watch the debauchery continue. Here he is again from a different angle. Cops out there is slipping and sliding. Oh my God, that floor is so slippery that you slipped. Cops coming after him. All right. So that's giving you background on who this guy is. Now is the banger. He should have been in prison, Patty. He should have been. I think he's not because of mental issues. And I am now going to put it on unmute so you guys can hear what he said to police officers. And I want you to hear the demeanor in which he said this to police officers. There was no questioning here. Those of you that come from a legal place, you know, police officers will typically ask a question and you'll get an answer in response. Keep that in mind before I show it to you. Okay? Let's listen to Jonathan and what he has talked about when it comes to freak-offs, when it comes to Diddy and his involvement in it. And I can't believe, goddamn, this is the same dude that shot up Trump Tower and was talking about this. Keep in mind, everyone, this interview happened before Cassie's complaint dropped. That's very important for you to recognize. Let's listen.
That's why he's going.
Oh, God damn it. They have a little. I'm going to take it down for a second, guys. They have some background music, and this is so annoying. I think I have it here. Everybody's putting background music on it because they right struck. This is so annoying that YouTubers do this. Okay, let me find one that's not. That is not literally has music in the background. Let me just type in Jonathan Oddi confession. Jesus Christ, this is so annoying. Jonathan Oddi confession 2021, I believe. Yeah, here we go. Sorry for the delay, guys. Sorry, y'all. I just needed to make sure it didn't have all that shenanigans noise behind it. Here we go. Jonathan Oddi interrogation. Go. So this interrogation happened after the Trump thing. And he talked about Diddy back then.
They're good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross and Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross,
Yeah.
and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter, okay?
Okay. So as we go, I want you guys to pay attention to how many times he says, okay. All right. Now, remember, this took place after he was arrested for the Trump Tower shooting. He was one of the men that was involved with Diddy's freak offs. And now he's talking about DJ Khaled being gay. Now he's talking about Rick Ross being gay. That's what he's saying right now. All right. These are all allegations. We don't know if anything is factual, but let's continue listening.
Supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said the wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter.
All
Okay. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Oh, hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself
Yeah.
these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The
Boule.
The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist.
Okay.
Okay, you my brother,
Okay.
so I like black people.
Okay.
I am just going to stop for a minute. Just because you say you're from Africa and you like black people does not make what you just said acceptable. Jesus Christ. Let's go back. I just want to give you guys that disclaimer because that was bullshit. That was utter bullshit. Let's continue.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay.
That's
She was
bullshit.
just a servant, but she was my she took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people.
Okay.
I had settlement with Sean, okay, against Donald Trump, okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group, okay, of individuals which run the whole country. All right. Basically, what I did. Did you tell him how? Did you explain to him about the message? Or
Please elaborate.
Third.
I'm going to interrupt again because I want you guys to notice a few things. Number one, he has on a gown. He's not an interrogated suspect with a jumpsuit on or street clothes on, like he was just picked up and Mirandized, bought in, and questioned. He has on a gown. So what does that mean? If you have on a gown, that means they probably took you out of the loony bin. It's very, very likely that he's a little tapped. A lot of media outlets are bringing up this guy. But like, I just want you to notice the attire. Look at this. That's a gown. That's a hospital, to Legally Live standpoint. That's a hospital gown. So, as you are out there looking at news things, I want you to realize as they talk about this guy, what is he wearing? The answer is a gown. That means he's either pleading mental insanity. And if you shot up one of the nation's president's properties, oh my God. Secret Service, police all day, every day, state police, local police. Are you kidding me? But you did it. Got to be a little tapped. But after you are tapped, after you are found to be tapped, if they are interrogating you and you're in a gown, that's already telling us a lot. So he is in a gown after the shooting took place in 2018. And he is telling us that Diddy's gay, Khaled's gay, Rick Ross is gay. Fine. Everyone has preferences. But you're telling us this when we are supposed to be interrogating you for committing an extremely egregious act in Florida. Let's keep going. The algorithm is like, I'm not sending this to nobody, AV. Nobody. No one's going to see this. But you guys are. So that's what's important. Let's keep listening to him.
Thursday, turning to Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the gates. I took I jumped the fence. I took the American flag. I put it in the front desk, and I blew the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay? Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm trying. Okay, keep going.
It ain't like that. The CIA, and then they want to do the same thing that they did to JFK. Okay?
All right.
Why? Because they want the United States to fall. They've already been creating a state of chaos and confusion.
Okay, this is where it starts to get a little batshit, guys. Shout out to Ron, who says perfectly sane individual. This is what I'm saying. It starts to get a little batshit. I'm just watching it, reacting with you guys, and shout out to Patrick, who says his testimony is inadmissible in court. When he starts talking about JFK, this is a little weird. But I wanted to show you guys the full Cash. I wanted to show you guys the full thing because people are out here making pieces of content and they're like, oh my God, this guy has something to do with the Diddy thing. But I wanted you to see the full context. He's saying he had something involved with the Diddy thing. This clip, that one part about him saying that Diddy has this thing going on, you know, Khaled has this thing going on. All these people have these things going on. But what are we not seeing about this full synopsis? He's being interrogated by police and wearing a gown. Do you see how the media can twist things if we're not careful and look at the full context? So let's go back in. And again, this is me not making fun of people that have mental health issues. I have family members that go through it. I've seen it, you know. Just personally, I had a family member that took their own life because of mental health issues. And it's not funny. And YouTube will absolutely demonetize this video. But I'm just saying it in a sense to be relatable. Like, this stuff is very serious. For him to dare do that on a president's property is serious, right? But there's a reason why this footage is leaked. So keep that in mind too. But let's go back in and listen to what he has to say.
They want the United States to fall. Donald was against their agenda and won the presidency. Okay, he did get help from Russia. He did get help from the Saudis. He also got help from a lot of Republicans in here, which is the electoral college vote. And he got a lot of support from Republican people. Okay. The elections, yeah, they weren't fair, but he won through the electoral college vote. Right. Which is the Republican vote, basically. He got him through, okay? He didn't get the popular vote. Okay.
I hear you.
So basically, the interior, he made it. He's president-elect by the electoral college. So he made it. The situation is that he still hasn't kicked out the corruption from the system. He's letting them stay due to money, basically, because they all like making money. That's why they're all billionaires, etc. So there's only this select few that run the country. Okay. So I know you may or may not. I know you're gonna believe me. You have what's called the Illuminati.
Okay, we're going dark. We're going dark.
Yeah, Illuminati. Okay, they've made it in dance. Basically, what it means, illuminated. Okay. They do.
Guys, if I'm not found this weekend, maybe they came to get me for showing this. I don't know. As soon as he said that I word, like part of me was like, I don't even want to do this damn stream because of what he's saying and like what the potential could be. He invoked the I word. I don't want no parts in this. I don't, but let's continue.
Satanic ritual abuse, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques to their own family, kids, etc. are in the group, and they bond that way. Okay, so they do sexual pedophilia, they do animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove. Okay,
Right.
the Bohemian Grove, the bushes go there. George Senior and George, both of them are in the same agenda. They cousins with the Clintons. Okay, so is Donald Trump. He's also a distant cousin. So if you see, there's a direct correlation of the presence of the United States being bonded between family ties. Okay,
Gotcha.
all these family ties, while not go back to the same place, the royal family in England. Okay, the family.
I just want you guys to notice that there's a lot of talking here and not as many questions, and that's fine. But he seems to know a lot about this. It's very Illuminati driven. Oh my God, I hope I'm here tomorrow back on this platform. I'm just saying that. Let's continue.
Family here of the Illuminati are descendants of the royal British family. Okay, they have children between themselves. Why? Because they have that issue. You understand? They want like superiority of the race.
Mm-hmm.
They see it that way, but it backfires on them because it makes them simple-minded. You understand? When you have sex with someone in your family, your kids are not gonna come out smart.
What?
You understand? They're gonna come out dumb. All right. So Donald turned his back, but he's still trying to negotiate a peaceful way out, and they have an agenda to kill him. Okay.
Oh my God.
Example: if you look at the Illuminati card games, example, okay? You look at the game, Illuminati card game.
I'm not familiar with it, so help me understand.
It's a card game
It's a card game.
that
Okay.
tells exactly what their agenda is.
Gotcha.
It's called mental pre-programming. That means that
Whoa.
you predispose already. Once you play this, your mind is already predisposed at this happening,
Mm-hmm.
and you accepting it. Okay, so they have a picture of Donald dead in that game.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm not crazy. They have a picture of Donald.
He also
But
said
they
I'm
also
not
had
crazy.
Twin Towers. They had everything on there.
Gotcha.
Okay, from A to Z. So it's kind of like a hidden agenda, which they try to make it open to our eyes, but we really don't see it. We're so busy working.
It's kind of like hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
You know, I want to shout out a few guys that are picking up on this. Legally Live has picked up on this. She says they know not to start interrupting. Whenever there's an interrogation happening, it is very often that the police will allow people to speak, to talk. All of it's being recorded. It is evidence that can be used against you. In this case, you know, it is hard to watch because I see him in a gown. And typically that indicates that someone has either been in the hospital or the alternative is they've been in a mental institution and could have a lot going on. Looking at the dialogue in this conversation, you see some things happening where he's talking about Trump and the Illuminati and all types of stuff. And my numbers are going down in this live. So people are like, what in the hell is happening? All right. But at the same time, I want you to also see what the media is putting out there, because this is the full interview and not just a synopsis of him talking about Diddy and Cassie. This is a full thing. This is the same person that shot up Trump Tower. I think that's why the algorithm's like, sorry, AV, we're not pushing this to anyone at all. No one. Take these 5 views.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy,
Yeah,
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself.
Yeah.
Here we go.
yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The
Ooh.
Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay, I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist.
Okay.
Okay,
Still
he's
not
my
okay for
brother,
you to
so I
say.
like black people.
Okay.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay, she was just a servant, but she was she took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people.
Okay.
I had settlement with Sean. Okay, and he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the contracts. It's these attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes. Ben Mercedes worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years and worked for Hillary Rodman for 5. Okay. When I take Sean the threat of death on me, okay? I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything.
That's
okay?
right. Legally. There's a lot of allegations here.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean.
Oh!
Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business because what they would do is
Here's
Sean
where it gets hot.
talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave. Okay, for them that's what I was. That's all. All right. I caught herpes.
He caught herpes.
I for the herpes and won, but they did. Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys. Okay, and Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally.
Oh my God.
And it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
It's possible, I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead towards Donald Trump?
Okay.
The Mercedes family, Ben Mercedes, that works with Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos used to be Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Now we're at Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah, he drugged Michael and they OD'd him, okay? He didn't overdose. They OD'd him. Because they keep the royalties of the music.
Oddi allegation.
Michael alone made $860 million alone last year, okay, in 2017. Who keeps that royalty? The music companies. Who represents the media and entertainment in the United States? Most of them, Mercedes does. Kenny Mercedes, which is Greenman Mercedes shot out of New York. Okay. So what they've been doing is they've been promoting a hate agenda against Trump. So people hate him, okay, because they know he is very alpha, okay, very alpha in the sense that he likes money, he likes to make money, and he likes women, and they know they want to defame him in certain ways with Stormy, with other people, because they want him out of the government, okay? But it ain't happening because it's too smart for them. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm trying to, right?
Donald is intelligent. We have a similar type of intelligence. And
oh, he said they have a similar type of intelligence. Guys, a couple things, right? Number one, I was really interested in showing you this clip for the purposes of Diddy and Cassie. And this is a guy that's like, hey, I did things with Diddy and Cassie 13 times. I got herpes. Oh my God. I got HSV too. It became a thing. Right? I thought he was going to expand on this story a little bit, but he's going down the Donald Trump rabbit hole a little bit. This is not a political channel at all. I just think that it's interesting that the media is only showing you 20 seconds of this guy saying Diddy and Cassie and me and these people did this thing. Diddy's in the corner masturbating as this was going down, and then Cassie's complaint comes out and everybody's talking about this, but this is the same freaking guy that shot up Trump Tower and is now allegedly missing. Hi, Truist. Good to see you. Go back to work. This one is going to be a doozy on replay. But this is interesting. It's the same guy. Hiya. Hiya. How are you doing? This is the same guy that shot up Trump Tower. This is the same guy that's wearing a gown right now, that is talking about the Illuminati, that's talking about Trump, that's talking about all these things. He's talking about Diddy being gay. He's talking about, like, you know, being around DJ Khaled and Rick Ross, all of these rappers. And they just let him go. They just let him talk. They continue to let him talk.
Overview of things. The only thing is he's not seeing that Hillary is a distant cousin of his and Obama have a different plan.
Oh, now Obama's being.
You understand? No offense with Obama. I love each and every American, but he was part of that 9/11 agenda. He's a CIA agent, an ex-CIA agent. That's why there's so much identity issues with Obama. Who knows his real name? They say he was born in Indonesia, and he's also born in Hawaii. Nobody knows. Why? Because he's an ex-CIA agent.
Wow.
Basically, Osama bin Laden never existed.
Okay.
It was the creation of the CIA, and it was Obama in the cave talking shit and looking like an Arab. And then they bombed Twin Towers.
It's getting demonetized.
So my problem is, I'm here to expose each and single one of them to the American public for the crimes committed on September 11th, 2001.
Now we're at 9/11.
And therefore, okay?
Now tell me though, how all of that led up to Thursday night, Friday morning.
Correct.
Well, I've been trying. My settlement put me in a box. Basically, I couldn't talk because I was going to be sued.
What settlement?
So I let it be, but they've been following me, and they've had Mark Garrett has had the FBI on me, has had other agencies looking at me and spying on me, okay, because they want to set me up as an extortionist.
Oh my
like
God.
If I was extorting Sean for money. It's
Patrick.
wrong. Basically, what happened is Diddy and Ross, which they're good buddies, okay?
Listen, Patrick, listen.
They're gay.
Here we go.
Both. Diddy and Ross.
Dos.
And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah. Gotcha.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter. Okay?
Right.
Basically, he's Arab, Palestinian. Okay?
Okay. Wow. Wow.
The Ciroc agenda, okay, is basically binge drinking poured out on a yacht. They promote binge drinking and drugs.
Gotcha.
The hip hop agenda was laid out by Obama during his last presidencies purposely. That's why they had Tupac killed. Because when they kill them, you gain fame.
Stop.
When people,
Stop.
your record sales go up, and then people.
Stop. Y'all know I love me some Tupac. But I did show you the Tupac FBI report. I also showed you that people were looking to have him killed. I don't know how credible it is that this guy is saying all this stuff about all these people. He went in the Illuminati realm. He went in on the Trump realm. He went in. He was originally arrested because he shot up Trump Tower, right? And in this interrogation video, he's now talking about Rick Ross. He's talking about DJ Khaled. 4 or 5 years before this whole thing happens with Hamas. Also talking about Diddy, and now he's going back in the day to Tupac. In 2024, KPD's on trial for Tupac's murder. No, Patrick, no. We're just going to go back to the crazy interrogation video because I'm not down with any of this stuff at all. I'm just showing you the wildness of what this man is saying and putting it on blast.
People listen to your lyrics and everything, and then you become famous. Okay, that's how they do it. All right. Tupac's still alive.
Pac is still alive, apparently.
Basically, what happens is the hip hop agenda is an agenda to move drugs all over the United States. They move. You need to report the DEA. They move all the dope. Okay, all the dope on private jets, which don't get screened by customs, by the inside the United States. Okay, they move what's called high grade powder MDMA. They move cocaine and they move liquid cocaine in the bottles too. Okay, so they put the liquid cocaine in the bottles and they move it. I've seen the liquid cocaine. I've drank it myself, having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay, it's not good. He drinks it all the time. All right, he calls it GG. That's liquid cocaine.
Whoa, okay. Have you guys ever heard of liquid cocaine? Can you put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of liquid cocaine? Put a 2 in the chat if you haven't heard of liquid cocaine. I have never heard of this, but apparently this man has had liquid cocaine with Diddy and Cassie. I just wanted to stop for a second and take a breath of fresh air because we got a super. Shout out to the truest dude with the second super of the night. He says, no questions, no comments, just, I believe, the pure love of the game. Shout out to you, truest. I think you had to duck out. If you're still here, thank you for being here and thank you so much for the super. Shout out to Kita G, who is the stream sponsor tonight, who's also looking at this crazy scenario and what this guy has to say about Diddy and Cassie. It is insane. But we're going to go back to this wild interrogation of this man who is now getting to the tea with Diddy and Cassie, his involvement with them. And let's just hear it. Like, there's nothing I can say. You guys just need to hear it.
How do I know there's a conspiracy against Trump? Because it's in the Illuminati card deck. He should look at it for himself.
But let me bring you back to Thursday night, Friday morning. Sure. I mean, how did all of this? I think I better understand what you're saying. But what I want to know is how did that prompt you? How did that make you do what you did that night?
Well, we're getting to a point that his assassination is coming. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because it's an agenda they're perpetrating on the media and the news. Example.
There is no way that the Secret Service was not sorry to swear. There's no way that the Secret Service was not alerted to this crazy ass interrogation. You go on a Trump Tower and shooting stuff. But how ironic is it that back then he's talking about Diddy and Cassie and being involved with them? This is a little wild, guys. In 2018, and the Diddy and Cassie complaint dropped in 2023. But he is saying a lot of outrageous stuff too. So let's be fair here in that.
Madonna is a client of Mercedes, Ben Mercedes. Mm-hmm. He has her go on public TV and say, oh, someone should, I thought so many times of going up and blowing up the White House.
Oh, God.
Okay. They gave her that little message. That little message is Hillary's message, okay? Mm-hmm. Because Hillary sent it to Gary Ross, and Gary Ross gave it to Mercedes, and they gave it to
Okay? A little bit of a blur.
You're gonna need an internet so I can show you. If I show
you're gonna need an
internet. Like, oh fuck!
All right. Help me understand you. Sure. How old are you?
I'm 42. I've been through all my life. I've had a great life. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, was he scared that I was exposed?
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand you. I mean, obviously we never met.
I know.
I don't know you from Adam's Cat.
I know.
I'm trying to, we'll get back to the event.
I got like 30 years ago. Some good.
Where you from?
I was born in South Africa.
What town? What city?
Newcastle, the Valley of 1,000 Hills. I'm from Zululand. I'm what you call a Zulu.
Okay.
I was born there, and then my parents were Latin descent from Argentina. They escaped the military dictatorship in Argentina.
Pinochet, all that.
No, the Argentina one. Yeah, my Pinochet was a Chile.
This is why I say that there's some mental illness happening here, because his family apparently is from Argentina, but to escape a religious persecution, they went to South Africa. Okay, let's listen.
Okay. Okay.
I can't remember. It was like a military dictatorship. I can't remember the name.
All right. Well, how many years did you stay in South Africa?
12 years in South Africa, and I stayed 12 years in Argentina, and then I came here to the United States, and I've been here 20 years since.
Okay.
18 years.
Parents. So you got a mother and father?
Dad came and visited me. He died here of cancer, and mom went back at home. I think over visiting with my sister in Europe.
Okay.
Okay. Again, if you look at the way that question was asked, it was a very clean question. I tell you guys all the time, if you're ever being interrogated, that was a very clean question. Tell us about your parents. Some of those timelines didn't make sense, right? So that's why I'm leaning towards mental illness, because he says, hey, 12 years in South Africa, 12 years over here, that equals 18 years. Okay.
What year did your father pass away?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Did that have any effect on you? I mean, what was
Not really.
your relationship like with your father?
Well, I suffered a little child abuse when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I believe he's not my real dad, but it's okay, you know.
All right.
Sometimes you know, maybe that's what he thought. I don't know.
All right. And your mother, where's your mother right now?
She's in I think in Argentina or traveling in Europe.
Okay.
You just said she was in Europe.
Distant, but distant but nice.
All right. Well, any brothers, any sisters?
Yeah, both. Also distant but nice.
Okay.
They're in Argentina. Well, my brother's in Argentina, my sister's in Europe with my mother.
Oh, so you don't have
family in the United States?
Yeah.
Just my dog Bubbles. My sister
dog.
Yeah.
The dog Bubbles.
You're not married. You're single.
I'm divorced.
You're divorced.
Yeah.
Okay.
My ex-wife started trying to want. I told her she's an attorney.
She's an attorney.
Yeah. She's a lawyer.
Where she live?
In Boca Raton.
In Boca Raton.
Yeah.
Okay. Does she know anything about this? Have you talked to anybody?
Yeah, she kind of knows. But what happened was they've been tapping me so much on my phone through intelligence. I figured out how they tap their iPhones.
Okay.
And basically, it's gone all the way up. And I've seen even Hillary and all this. They've been watching me. They've been watching my
come back to me. We'll get back into that in just a minute. Let's just.
Guys, the fact that the interrogator said, come back to me. I think the interrogator knows, like, he's going off into these tangents and going off into these things. And it's just like, we need to know information about you. And he's like, oh yeah, my phones are being tapped and this and that. Like, you could see he's a little tapped. And this is not making fun of him. Mental health is not funny. But if your wife is a lawyer, shout out to For Me 74. If you married an attorney, come on. Let's go back to this.
With your family members and everything.
Sure.
I'm just wondering if you talked to your ex-wife or anybody.
I thought no about what happened about this.
Yeah.
Well, no, this was only me. It was premeditated to give a message to the American public, a wake-up call. It's called a wake-up call.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when somebody rings a bell for Americans to wake up. Americans like you, like me, like all of us here.
You said premeditated, so you thought about this. You thought this through?
Yeah.
How long have you been thinking about it?
It's easy. That's like
help me understand. I don't.
Well, really,
when you say premeditated, you must have been thinking about it for a while. How long have you been thinking about doing what you did?
Well, when I say premeditated, it means that I went and did it by myself. That's all. And I didn't think about it like
That's not what premeditated means.
Oh, okay. When you say premeditated, I thought maybe you planned it out. Like
I ran my own personal investigation, which I figured out myself that this is going on, and we still having issues of corruption at the highest place in our government.
I get that. I get that. Now, when you say you did your own investigation, what'd you do?
Basically, out of all the times I went and saw the attorneys, did my research online, and I found out the whole puzzle of their organization.
Okay. All right. So you didn't tell, well, before I ask that question, so you have an ex-wife, you got a girlfriend, you got anybody that
Is
you
there
talk
any
to? I'm
women?
trying to understand
I don't
if you got
talk to
somebody
people.
that you interact with on a daily basis.
Yes, I have a good friend, a breakfast buddy. His name is Luis David Gonzalez, and we go to the gym every day. He has nothing to do with what happened Thursday. Though he's a witness, he's gotten shot at by them, and he's a witness that Ross came and threatened me at my house post-settlement. After we settled, Diddy sent Ross, and I asked him to go see if that was Ross, and he confirmed his identity.
So
Okay, guys, what is he saying here? I mean, we're listening to a lot of mumbo jumbo, and I really try to keep you all away from it. But what he is saying is that even after all this stuff happened, even after the Trump Tower incident happened, he is saying that Diddy knew somehow that he had shared this information and that Diddy sent one of his attorneys to go to him and give him a settlement, which he accepted. He also has claimed to have accepted a Trump settlement. Again, this is not a political channel. I'm not trying to get involved in this Illuminati BS and this other political BS. That's not what this channel is. This is a legal channel. We're covering popular legal topics. Really interested in justice. Really interested in this guy because we're watching the interrogation. I want to be fair because, as mentioned many times as we're watching this is someone that's sitting there, not in cuffs and street clothes, not in cuffs and a jumpsuit. We're watching him in cuffs and a health gown, a hospital gown. Where's he coming from? I mean, this is really crazy, guys. It's a little nuts, a little batshit.
Gonzalez, he can back up what you're saying about P. Diddy and Ross and all that? Okay, all right. And you said Gonzalez didn't know anything about what you did? You didn't talk to him before?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
He knows nothing. He was actually worried about me. He's like, hey, what's up? And I told him, look, man, what's happening is
Shh, Patty. Shh.
he's trying to cool things down, but then the feds have been harassing him. The feds. They have a big file of me like this, the feds. Because P. Diddy and Mark Garibus have been trying to set me up and lock me up as an extortionist, asking for money.
Well,
it was not so. My settlement was breached, and my settlement terms is one was called peaceful enjoyment. That means that if I went to your house or I did something, you'd actually pay me the full amount.
I get all that.
So I've been going through that since like 2012. Okay. So.
All right, and Gonzalez knows about that. You talk to him about that kind of stuff.
I talked to him alone because he's the only one that knows since the beginning. Gotcha. And then my ex-wife, she knows she saw the contract. She has a contract, a picture of the contract. You need to call her and ask her for a copy of the settlement agreement.
Okay, all right. Where do you live at? Where's your house?
If his ex-wife saw it, then maybe the ex-wife knows about the settlement agreement he had with Diddy. Just saying. I think it's pretty interesting that she knew and she's a lawyer.
Sir, really close. Unit 177, just down the road from Trump's. You see, I want you to live close to Trump because I know they don't like being close to Trump. You understand what I'm saying? They don't like that. So that's why I want you Trump's.
Okay, all right. You got a roommate? You live alone? Okay, all right. How do you get around? You got a car?
Yeah.
Motorcycle, like that? You got a Jeep?
It looks like a military Jeep.
Okay. Where is that Jeep right now?
Police have it in custody.
Okay, all right. We'll get back to the Jeep in a minute. Tell me about your employment. What do you do for work right now?
Okay, right now I'm self-employed. I work with minerals and gemstones. With my own company called Pegasus
Minerals and gemstones.
Okay.
That I inherited from my father. Previously, I've been.
Well, before you go any further, do you have like an actual office someplace, or you work from home?
Work from home.
Okay, so you pretty much like online
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, but I get busy 2 seasons a year.
Where's the
Like
computer?
really busy. I get September and February. So it's like 15 days nonstop each one, and then it's like just slide it.
Well, where I'm going with that is if you work from home, do you have a computer? Do you
No,
work on the telephone? How do you do business?
What I did is I threw away everything I had because
Well, before you go, what is everything? What did you, when you say you threw away everything, what's that?
my documents, everything I had, because
Why?
I know they've been trying to follow me, and I just don't want my personal info getting,
I got to know. I think
I don't understand. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I don't want my personal info out there. I don't want people following me. I don't want people to watch my stuff. But you went to the president's property and wanted to cause ruckus. And I don't know if you guys saw the beginning of this. Go back. We saw him hopping around because the police were like, you can't do this, sir. I mean, he's a little batshit. I'm not making fun of that either. I'm not.
I understand, but I mean, what I'm trying to understand is how can you have a business and not have a computer or work the phone?
Oh, I haven't. I just threw them away the same day. I threw it all away.
You threw what away?
My computers and everything.
Well, where do you throw them away at?
The garbage.
And your garbage and your...
Yeah, because they've been spying on me through that. They spy you through your computer, through your iPhone. They spy you through your TV screen, the cameras. Even if they off, they manage to do it. It's called intelligence. The CIA is available, can do anything.
Let me make sure I understand you now. Now, when you say you threw them away, you threw them into like a dumpster, or did you just throw them away in your trash can
In my
and you
trash
threw them
can.
away in the dumpster?
In my trash can.
Okay. Well, exactly what was it? Just like one computer?
No, everything. My documents, the settlement agreement, my computer.
The settlement agreement?
TV, everything that they had been surveilling me on.
Settlement agreement.
I took it off because I wanted them to be in the dark.
The evidence.
Okay.
Because they've been watching me. So now they kind of freaked out. They kind of spooked out.
The
But
evidence.
it needed to be done. And Donald needs to do his presidency correct. And he needs to know that these people are running him into the ground, running the country into the ground.
All right, we're going to come back to that. I'm not done with that, but I'm trying
Threw
to
the
help
evidence
you.
away.
I'm trying to understand you, your daily routines, your business, that kind of stuff.
But I'm very different than you. I'm very intelligent.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all are very intelligent.
Yeah.
I can see that, yeah.
The thing is, you've been fed the wrong foods and medicines which blind you. Okay? Most of the pharmaceutical industry is bogus.
I agree with you there.
I can tell you right now. They have you popping pills and they poison you slowly so you die. Okay? That's the truth.
Wow.
You don't need any medicine. You're strong. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Your body is called, the only way to come out now is called immunotherapy. That's all you need. Vitamins, immunotherapy. That's all you need.
All right.
About my work ethics. Okay, previous places I've worked at. In the United States. Well, do you want to know all of them or?
Oh, as much as you can tell me, help me understand.
Okay.
Telling him everything.
You work for Pegasus right now, right? But you threw away all your stuff.
Yeah, because it's a family business. Really
Okay.
simple. It's just like I just need to use Square Cash.
Let's go back. What did you do before Pegasus?
I worked. I took a break off during the summer. I did my research. I took care of my dad. He had died. Before that, I did real estate investments with Section 8 properties, but I was started getting harassed.
Now that's a
so
Section 8.
because they threatened to sue me, I sold the properties. Before that, I worked for RG Electronics. I was the top producer, the top salesman of TVs in 2012.
Radio Shack? Radio
Before that, I
Shack?
worked for a company called Mad Labs,
Mm-hmm.
out of the Rock here in 87th. They computer components manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I worked for SMT of America, which is Micron out of Idaho. They semiconductor artificial memory chips, DDR memory basically. Before that, I worked as a self-employed trading electronics South America. Before that, I came here as an internship as an accounting manager for the Pier House Resort in Key West, Florida.
Okay, all right. So pretty much all those jobs were in South Florida, in Miami area.
I was staying in South
Okay.
Florida.
Where'd you go? You
School.
college? You go?
I went to University of Salvador, which is the same school as the Pope we have right now. I studied travel industry management, business and travel.
Where did you go to college? Went to the same school as the Pope. I'm sorry that I'm hurting your ears with all this debauchery, but you need to see this. You do. My God.
Travel industry management, but then I went into the electronics sector.
Okay, all right.
That's what's been growing.
Okay, all right. Do you have anybody that you can think of that you used to work with that you trust? Anybody, any former coworkers? Anybody that you would reach out to if you ever needed help at any of those jobs?
No.
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 Okay.
No
I'm pretty
coworker.
self-confident. I mean, I have my head on my shoulders and I know what I'm doing.
Okay, all right.
And I mean, I know you all think this is bogus, or you may not yet understand it. But look, I got 3 bullet holes.
I got you.
I did this for the country. Trust me, I feel great,
Okay.
and I'll do it any day because at least I avoid a president getting shot, and at least I avoid other dummies trying to fuck up our country. Excuse my language.
No, you're good, man.
And my people, because my Americans are my people.
Okay.
I have issues with when people mess around with my people.
All right, tell me. All right, let's go back to a Thursday night, Friday morning.
Let's talk about the incident.
Before you did what you did,
well,
what was your state of mind? I mean, what were you thinking?
Cool as ice. I went there. I knew what I was doing.
Cold as ice.
It's not like I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, and my point was, take down the flag and put it in the front desk and call the police, shoot the chandelier.
What?
To tell them to stop getting Saudi Arabia money.
All right.
That's all, because Obama is behind him. So is Hillary. Okay? So he's got to stop taking the Arabian money because he's letting everything slide. He's letting Obama stand right behind him, and so Hillary.
What
he
the
knows
flocka?
Mm-hmm.
He knows who they are. So does the CIA. Maybe the Secret Service doesn't because you all work for the president, correct?
Right.
You already work for the president, correct?
Some other people, but mainly the president, right?
Exactly. So the problem is you're his circle, the CIA, and then a different circle.
Well, let me rephrase that. We don't work for him. We provide a service to protect him.
Exactly. That's why I want you to talk, and I would like this to be told to Donald Trump. Tell him I'm a supporter of him. I love him.
Wow.
I don't hate him. I know what his issues are. He has an issue right now with him that's bugging him a lot. It's called Stormy Daniels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all want me to put you through 4 more minutes of this? This is the guy, everybody's like, the small clip that's going viral. Like, oh yeah, he did all this stuff with Diddy and Cassie and DJ Khaled and Rick Ross. But this is the full thing. This is the full interrogation. You guys see it. This is the full interrogation. That 30 seconds went viral. Everybody's like, see, look, I'm not defending Diddy. I'm not defending any of this. But where do these people come from? He's clearly tapped, and he's just like, look, I'm wearing a gown because I got shot. My legs got shot. I'm just going to keep playing it. I mean, y'all want it.
Why is it bugging him so much? Why is he lying to the people? Why is Donald lying to the people about a story?
And how does that make you feel personally?
I know the truth. I think it's a dummy situation. I think he should put his pants up and explain to the American people what's the problem is. Story was sent by Geragos to Avenatti. Okay? They know each other because I know Christopher's been talking to Geragos for years. They've been doing, my attorneys here, Mace Laura, they've been doing business. They've been getting referrals for years after I cut the deal with Diddy. They made friends and they be doing deals.
I understand all that.
They threw me into the feds
Well,
for conspiracy of something that I had not done. I was claiming breach of settlement. Now, the way the story is, it works as the following. Donald has an issue. His doctor prescribing Propecia. You know what Propecia is?
it's the skin or the hair.
Hair growth.
Alopecia.
Okay? So basically what
Alopecia.
happens when you take
God
Propecia,
damn.
your dick goes limp.
Oh.
But limp because you're taking Propecia. He has air issues. His doctor, birthday, slipped the Propecia out, okay? So for him, Stormy's story is bad news because it's
He's just said that Donald Trump now has alopecia. And because he has alopecia, his joint just goes soft. But it's not alopecia in his mind. He calls it propecia. When you have propecia, apparently your joint just gets soft. And then you can't shoot up the club the way you want. What the hell are we watching, guys? The debauchery.
embarrassing. That's why he's going crazy with that. It's not that he's lying to the American people. He's embarrassed about Stormy's situation, okay? He paid her, and she's coming back with some bullshit stories, okay? Trying to expose and defame the president so he falls and collapses.
Oh, my word. What did we just watch? Shout out to Legally Live, who says Propecia is the medication you take to get your hair thicker. And Don's running for president again. He's going into the 80s. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? After watching that interrogation, I do think the guy is a little crazy. The things about Diddy that he mentioned, is he pulling Diddy out of the closet? I particularly wanted to mention this to you guys because when the Cassie complaint came out in those 30 pages, never once did you hear Cassie or her attorneys allege that Diddy was into another gender or the other gender, right? Despite we have, Drink Champs. We have the Drink Champs thing where you can actually see him pursuing male rappers, and they're like, hey, stop. TD Jakes got into a scandal recently by being involved with Diddy. The Art of Dialogue has so many Gene Dale interviews where he's talked about, hey, Diddy's been into some stuff. You have Mark Curry, who's involved with that as well, who has just mentioned some of the things that he's seen. It was crazy for a really long time, right? And they say that there are all these cases coming against Diddy. But guys, like, Casual, I'm with you. I need a drink too. Like, I watch that, and I do a lot of this stuff with you guys raw dog. Here's why. Because when Lead and I covered the Cassie complaint, I had read it. I read the full 30 pages before we went live. I knew where everything was. And then when we went live, he didn't. So as we were reading, like you saw the shock from a 30-year divorce attorney that's like, what the hell? And at first he was on Diddy's side. Then as we got deeper into it, we're like, what is happening here? What is happening here? So shout out to Casual Economist. I'm going to need a double after reading this. Shout out to Jay Adilla. Thank you so much, who is sending, I believe these are euros, who says, hey, AV, when questioning a witness with mental health issues, are there guidelines that need to be considered with the quality of the information that you gather? Yes, it's very, Jay, this is actually a wonderful question because, yes, every person can be questioned. I do believe that there are guidelines, and, you know, in the United States, there are 50 states, there are 50 jurisdictions. Each state can do this differently. You know, I'm from the North, I'm from Massachusetts, where I went to law school, and dealing with a client that has mental health issues it's a very unique thing because, number one, you have a defense of being mentally incompetent to stand trial with certain offenses, mentally incompetent to have performed an act that is a criminal act. Like, hey, you know, like let's say somebody has a psychotic break and they end up hitting someone, right? That's a tough burden to prove because typically you need a mental health professional to say, undoubtedly, at the time that this person hit their doctor or hit someone else, we know that they were suffering an attack or whatever the case may be. We need that. Shout out to Captain Teach, who has entered the building. Change that name back, Captain Teach. Go back. But we're going to go to Jay Dilla because typically you do need to have certain guardrails, so to speak, when you ask them questions. But, you know, it's the doctor's word as well. It's not just that person's word, it's the doctor's word. But we also have to consider, are they on medications? Are they on certain prescriptions that help stabilize them? Were they on their prescriptions that day? There are a lot of mentally disturbed people that commit crimes all the time. You know, I'm looking at what this guy is saying, and you guys tell me, did he look like he was saying at the time? But here's the thing. The other thing that comes out in a stream of consciousness with dealing with people that might be going through a psychotic episode is sometimes you actually get the truth of what's going on. How do you make that up? For him to say, oh my God, I dealt with Diddy and Cassie 13 times. That's what he said. He said he was in a freak off with them 13 times. And in addition to those freak offs, he said that he caught HSV too, which for the cheap seats in the back is herpes. He said that he caught that. Sean Diddy Combs is alleged to have this STD as well. There's so many rumors out there. People are saying that Usher has it and caught it from Diddy, and other people caught it from Diddy. Cassie's status is not out there. I don't really think it's anybody's business after all the shenanigans she's been through. But it's kind of like a common thread, or the common denominator throughout all of this is Diddy, right? What I wanted to show you guys is this interrogation footage that was filmed 4 or 5 years before. And is this man actually telling the truth in 2018 from an unrelated, actually high profile, I want to say the F word, high profile incident that had nothing to do with Diddy and Cassie 4 or 5 years prior to the complaint being dropped? So weird. But like, you know, if you're from a big city, if you've ever been on the subway, sometimes like, people that are disturbed will say things, but like, are we going to say that everything that they're saying is just not valid and not true? Who knows? I'm going to come to you guys in the chat to see what you think. But thank you. I'm going to go back to Jay Dilla. Thank you so much for the euros. That makes me really happy. But excellent question. How would he have known? I mean, like I said, like 4 or 5 years before, it's a little weird that he would just be spouting that stuff off. But it's kind of accurate. Legally Live says, I mean, he is a loony, but he is correct about Diddy and Cassie thing. How would he? That's what I was just saying. It was not common knowledge, was it? It was not. UFOs playing. He said, Bad Boy Records. Jack says, LOL. Captain Teach, we got you. Steady grinding. How are you doing, Steady? Love you. Hope you had a good week. It's good to see you. Legally Live says the police do not usually follow any guidelines specifically for, and guys, I'm going to follow Legally Live's guidance because she is actually a criminal defense attorney in Texas. And she says the police do not usually follow any guidelines specifically for mental illness or mental health crises when interrogating. The officers usually are not trained with dealing with that. This is where we look at the law and law enforcement, right? I think what Legally Live is referring to is law enforcement. Officers are trained on how to interrogate. There's certain rights that all of us have. Your Fifth Amendment rights, how to be Mirandized, how to operate under Miranda, both for the defendant and also the arresting officers, how they question you. All of that falls under the Miranda rules, which is Arizona v. Miranda, which is pretty much like how attorneys and law enforcement operate under these rules, right? So that's pretty interesting. But as far as dealing with mental health, the other thing too is, how do you determine if somebody's tapped? Being arrested is a traumatizing thing. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Sometimes you absolutely don't do anything. Sometimes you're arrested as a colored person. That's even more traumatizing. And let's say you didn't do anything. But if you did, being arrested is an ordeal. Unless you're Griselda Blanco. And shout out to all the people that are watching that on Netflix right now. Oh my God. What a show. But being arrested is a traumatizing experience. Being booked is a traumatizing experience. Being put in a jail cell and taking your freedom away, and your freedom being taken away, is a traumatizing experience. After all of those steps, and then you have to be interrogating, is a traumatizing experience. You also have the right to remain silent during that traumatizing experience. When people choose to speak to officers, there's intent that goes into that. But like listening to what this guy said, some of it is truthful. Some of it is verified. But all of it is 5 years ago. Is he telling the truth? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that he's telling the truth. Patrick says, chances are a lot of what he said is true, but not admissible in court because of his mental illness. Patrick has been on this throughout this entire discussion. And I think Patrick is right. You know, there are certain rules of evidence. You know, I wish I can go back up there and grab the book for you guys. But there is a model rules or federal model rules of evidence that most states follow on the federal level, all follow on the federal level, but the states as well. Meaning that there are certain pieces of evidence that are entered into court. That may sound like mumbo jumbo because you're like, AV, what the hell? We have video footage right here of this guy admitting this stuff. This is probably on a federal level. The Cassie complaint was entered on a New York level, right? So that's a state versus 50 states, right? This guy committed obviously a federal crime because it's involving a U.S. president, right? And some of the things that he said in that 35-minute interrogation that we watched, he was all over the place. He talked about all type of topics. He talked about the Illuminati and this and that. Even though he talked about Cassie and Diddy 5 years before, can that little piece of evidence come in? I think Patrick's right in that it wouldn't. 1 is the relevance, right? But 2 is mental illness. Did he mention this information on a level where he was free of thought, where he was sane, where it made sense? You can see he was all over the place. So even on the rare occasion that it was admitted, say Cassie and Diddy go to court, or this guy and Diddy and Cassie go to court, whatever, it gets entered in. Do we now have a problem based off of the inadmissibility of it. So I think Patrick is right in this sense. Captain Teach says, don't invite me to a Diddy party. I don't think any of us want to go to a freak off. Legally Live says, Patrick, it would be admissible as long as he was advised of his Miranda. Shout out to co-counsel here, Legally Live, who's saying that it could come in if he was properly Mirandized, but it would still have to be relevant. That's what I was just saying, guys. Like, is it relevant to the case at issue? I think those are two separate situations. You have the Diddy thing, and then you have this Illuminati crazy Donald Trump thing. He was being questioned for the Donald Trump thing, you know? So, who brought the STDs to the party? Shout out to Yanni, who's entered the chat. He says, it's even more impressive than my freak off count. Yan, you've been to freak offs? Yanni, you've been to freak offs? Ya Speaks says, okay, AV, you are grinding. Greetings from Bermuda. Hi, Ya. Ya Speaks, it's good to see you, sis. I hope you are having fun in Bermuda. It's probably a very, very, not tonight, but sunny there compared to Atlanta. It's 50 these days, but interesting. Patrick says he's batshit crazy. I can't see a judge allowing his testimony. Captain Teach says, I caught the Diddy. Is that what we're calling it? Spreading the Diddy. Captain Teach out here starting some shenanigans. Leave it to the pirates to come in and just cause a mutiny. Wrongfully arrested at 19 years old with a gun to his head made me decide to get into law enforcement to change things. Shout out to UFO. And thank you for your service as being a law enforcement officer. It's really, really important for you to do. And I think people of color, like, we're here to do the right thing, right? And, you know, some of us have had our run-ins with the law. I may or may not tell you guys my story of my one run-in with the law. Just one. I was 19, was really scared. And that's why I decided to pursue justice. But I've seen some stuff happen, not only to me, but to others. And sometimes it's unfair. Sometimes you see some things that are just not okay. So that's really the value add of this channel, is for us to come together and talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. So what do you guys think about Oddi? We talked about how wild he can be. Jay says he mentioned that he destroyed any evidence, so there's no proof if it did exist. Jay, that's actually a good point. As we saw in this whole debacle, he said that he threw everything away in his regular trash. You know, like, I just threw it out. Just took everything, threw out my laptop, my phone. The settlement agreement that I had with Diddy and Trump, I threw that away. Okay, well, it is very likely that the attorneys you signed that deal with still have a copy of it. So it's still valid, even though you threw it out. But you just, did he breach it just now? It could be breached. It could be breached. Legally Live says, sorry, AV, I was saying all that before you started talking about it. No problem. Legally Live, no problem. Bobby says, I can get you into it. Can you get me into a freak off, Bobby? Can you do it? Patrick says, can you put a good word in for me at the Illuminati meeting? Stop it, Pat! I don't want any parts of any type of Illuminati. If you're watching, I don't like you. Like, leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with this stuff. I'm just covering this because my audience asked me to. And this dude is out here wilding out, and I just wanted to show the footage. I don't want nothing to do with none of that. Patrick, stop it. Monkey says, so is Diddy going down like Epstein or not? It is in the works, I believe. Captain Teach, what we are doing is shedding some light on it. You have the Cassie complaint, which was the bombshell, right? You have that. Then you also have the 3 other lawsuits that came after that. The one with the woman with Aaron Hall. You guys know that short that was blowing up on my channel that's almost at 1 million? It's because I was talking about Aaron Hall, and I showed you guys the Vlad TV interview of Aaron Hall and him talking about how he would like damn near like, you know, do things to women without their consent. And he said in that clip, this is why Vlad is the feds, guys. He said in that clip that people have seen how big his Johnson is, that it's not small, that it's tall, right? Diddy knows. That's what he said. He said it. I mean, he said Diddy knows how big it is. And this Aaron Hall was like this R&B singer. And this is why so many people are mad on that short. They're all fighting each other in the comments. I have not responded to one. They're all mad fighting each other in that short because everybody comes from a time in the 90s where they grew up listening to Aaron Hall, and to hear him talk like that, like you wasn't just this R&B brother talking about you love women and all these songs. And then 10 years later, you're like, if a bee ain't suck my D. And it's just like, are you Aaron Hall? This is you? Who are you? Who did you become? And in the 90s, like you guys know R&B back then, you loved some of these people. You guys know, and especially some of y'all men, y'all remember TLC? Y'all didn't think Left Eye was crazy. You thought she was cute. Then she burned somebody's house down. We don't know who these people are. We don't know. Shout out to my brother Wrench. Turn up. Wrench says, salute, sister. I termed a lady last night. What? I termed a lady last night, and the first thing she did was snitch on the whole ship for having freak offs. Oh, the plot thickens, Wrench. Stop. Like, listen, that's the thing. Sometimes we have to terminate people or get them out of our lives, and they will retaliate against you. But when she retaliates, it's like, everybody was having freak-offs, Rinse. The freak-offs have entered the chat. She's like, Joe did it. Tim did it. Gina did it. Everybody was in this freak-off. Your cousin was in it, Wrench. Everybody was in the freak-off. And, Wrench, we had Astroglide, and it was in the top drawer in the break room, and nobody knew. I'm done, y'all. I'm so done. Thank you, Wrench, for the $10 super. I appreciate it. Guys, Wrench is a content creator. Please check him out. Super loved by Kevin Samuels and many people out in the space. Dark skin, chocolatey, amazing brother with a deep voice. So if you are interested in manhood content, that type of stuff, please follow him. If any of my mods are hanging out, please drop his link in the chat. I think it would be amazing. Blue Jack says Aaron Hall didn't write those songs. He didn't, Blue. That is correct. But he had a very different state of mind. Aaron Hall to Aaron Hernandez. Listen, I knew TLC and it's crazy. Yeah. Captain Teach says, what do you think about Vince McMahon? Captain Teach, I haven't gotten there yet. Everybody's talking about it, but I'll probably make that my next stream, if anything. Black Lexicon says, this is a clear result of adding that doo-doo dust seasoning on your meal. I can't. Yeah, says social media got everybody self-cinching. All of them, yeah. All of them. The plot thickens. Oh my God, they don't stop. Everybody's self-cinching. Aaron Hall, Keefe D. I don't even want to tell you guys about Vegas, but I have a contact out there who's an attorney, and I'm thinking about going to the Keefe D proceedings and just bringing all this equipment and live streaming from a hotel room, so I could go to court and run back up to my hotel room at the Bellagio or whatever and be like, oh my God, guys, guess what Keefe D said in court? And then go back down the next morning and watch it, and then go back up and be like, oh my God, guys, here's what happened in court. Let me know if you would love that. WWE freak offs. What was Vince doing? Did he like get with China or what did Vince do? I'll look into it, guys. Y'all gonna have me pulling out chairs. And who is your favorite wrestler in WWE WF? Let me know before we end. Who is mine? I liked Stone Cold for a little bit. Kane was scary. You know, the hair, the greasy hair. Kane was scary. Blue Jacket says, y'all are telling me that most men in the entertainment industry are doo-doo chasers. I mean, we don't want to believe that, Blue Jacket. Stone Cold. All right. Untamed Chaos. Thank you for not leaving me hanging. Keefy D idea sounds great, doesn't it? The Brotherhood. The Undertaker. Oh my God. The Undertaker was lit. What was the other one? Triple H. Y'all remember Triple H? There's another with the blonde hair. China was a little scary. I always thought China was a dude when I was little. Okay. The Undertaker is a legend, though. I mean, he was. Captain Teacher's still on Aaron Hall. He's a power bottom. The Rock with the jabronis and the... Nobody clipped this. There's people that clip my stuff. It's so mean. It's so mean. It hurt my heart when I saw this. There's this feature called Clips where people will take 10 seconds of me saying something out of context and send it to their friends. And they'll type things like, welp, that person's a fucking failure. And all types of shit. It's amazing to me. It makes me sad. But I see it all the time. I don't think that people understand that we can see that as content creators. It hurts my heart. Anyway, I hope my day ones that are in this chat don't do that because I love you guys. Brett says Bret Hart. Cash says Bret Hart. Was it right? Bret Hart. The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, and the Ultimate Warrior. Jay, did you see that Hulk Hogan was trying to protect his son from getting arrested last week? It was amazing. Patrick says she was just on steroids talking about China. He was interrogating the police, and shout out to The Rock. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping up a few things. I have an editor on deck. If you've noticed these wonderful, amazing thumbnails, I need you to do me a favor and hit this like button under this video just for that, right? Like I'm here, I'm giving you briefings. I'm talking about the allegations against Diddy. I'm talking about the bizarre videos, Oddi's confession that we all watched. And big things coming on this channel. Huge things, right? Lastly, tomorrow, if I will post it on my community tab, if you're around, I'm going to be doing a collaboration with Chandler Remington on her channel. She is a content creator, and she is also a co-host like me. You guys know that I'm a co-host on the Lead Attorneys channel. Chandler is a co-host on Legal Vices' channel. Legal Vices' channel. Apostrophe, no S at the end. Huge friends to me, and I'm really excited to be doing more with women in the LawTube space, especially women that are huge advocates for men's rights. Chandler is one of those people. We will be talking more about Courtney Clenny's shenanigans, because if you haven't seen it, last week, this girl gave me a headache, and then her parents got arrested. Oh my God. Go watch that. Go watch it, please. Go watch it. And, you know, you guys will find me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. When you don't find me here, I'm either collaborating with somebody, you're watching a clip, or I'm on the Lead Attorneys channel. With that being said, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and watching this debauchery. Is Diddy out of the closet? Does this prove that he was in the closet? Let me know in the comments section what you think about Diddy in the closet. Did it exist? Was this guy telling the truth? Is it ironic that this footage came out a few years before? Let me know what you think. Stay safe out there. I love you guys. See you in the next one. Bye.